3,000, 6, 7, 8 fold.
Tesla raises it up to 3,000. Doug calls with pocket threes. Probably really wants to hit a 3.
Yeah, you want to get in there?
No, hold on. I want to steal. I don't want you to show me.
We're playing 100, 200, 400 at the Lodge, $250,000 deep. It's a big game, 600 big blinds deep in the scenario. Action folds around to Tesla, who gets in there and battles hard. He raises it up with ace-5 of hearts, which is an amazing hand when you're playing deep stack because it can make the nuts. Around to Doug Polk in the small blind. He has pocket threes. He opts to call. This is a spot where I think some people are a little bit too tight and a little bit too weak, but pairs are very good as well when you're playing deep stacked. Now look, every once in a while you're going to get set over set when you have pocket threes, but you're not so worried about that, especially if your opponent is loose, as it seems like Tesla is. So, heads up, let's head to the flop.
Please help yourself to my cards.
There you go. There you go. Now I should.
And there is a 3 for Doug and a gut shot for Tesla. These guys are $250,000 deep. Their stacks are within $300 of each other. This could get really big.
Raise 15,000.
Doug quickly races to 15,000.
That connected with your hand, did it?
Tesla's going to peel a turn. 4 would be devastating for Doug here. Or 2, rather.
The flop comes Jack of spades, 4 of diamonds, 3 of clubs. Doug Polk makes a set. Tesla has a gut shot and overcard. No backdoor flush draw. Doug checks, as he will do with a lot of his range in this scenario, probably all of it. Tesla bets 5,000 into the roughly $6,000 pot. Doug puts in the raise to 15K, and then Tesla calls. This is a spot where if we were shallower stack, the ace-5 would just be a very easy fold. When you're playing super deep, perhaps you can justify calling, although I think I still would have just folded immediately. And the problem with this ace-5 is that even if you do bink the 2 and make a straight, some of Doug's bluffs are going to be 6-5 for a better straight, in which case you're just going to lose all your money. Also, if you get an ace, there's no guarantee you're good. If you get a 5, definitely no guarantee that you're good. And you don't have a backdoor nut flush draw. So while a gut shot with an overcard is usually a pretty decent hand when you're playing deep stacked, I think this is about as bad of a spot as it could possibly be in. So if I was in Tesla's shoes, I would have just let it go immediately. Tesla doesn't, though. Let's head to the turn.
Offsuit 10 does bring a flush draw.
No, I haven't done anything yet.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay, no worries.
Doug's going to fire another bet. Looks like he's going to go pretty big.
47,000.
Small pot, 25.50.
47,000 to go. Bit of an overbet.
Yeah.
The turn is the very dynamic 10 of clubs. Now there is a backdoor flush draw available. Also, ace king, ace queen, and king queen all have a straight draw. So this is a spot where if you studied the Cash Game Masterclass at pokercoaching.com, you know that you want to be blasting it with hands that are almost always good but vulnerable to being outdrawn. And hands that don't really block your opponent's auto calls, like a jack, which is exactly what Doug has. So, pot's 37,000. Doug goes for a big bet, 47,000. Also, when you're really deep stacked, you should be using big bet sizes, especially with hands that really want to play for all the money. This is a great bet by Doug. I think a lot of people in this spot just bet 20,000. And the problem with betting 20,000 is that if your opponent calls, you're going to have a really tough time getting all the money in by the river. Here, though, Doug can blast it on the turn and then bet really big on the river and either completely stack Tesla when he has a good but second best hand, or win a large chunk of his stack. When you're playing deep, especially on dynamic boards, blast it. Let's see how Tesla proceeds now with just the ace high.
Does Tesla want to continue here?
All in? Oh
He moves all in.
Call.
Doug calls. This is a $509,000 pot.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god.
Let's try twice. See if
Oh wow. Well, this is the same
Well, you have
way-
a chance to give me a new worst beat of my life right here. I'll tell you that right now.
I mean, this is the
2
same.
of diamonds.
You got this in
Two
the same
Go
spot.
twice?
of
Go
diamonds.
twice, yeah.
All the 2s are alive.
Does that look good?
Instead of just folding, Tesla rips it all in for $250,000. Doug, of course, gobbles it up with a set. He's not afraid of being beat. And as Doug says, this could be one of the worst bad beats of his entire life. Now, I'm very much against telling bad beat stories. I'm going to give you one opportunity to tell me a bad beat story. In the comments section below, before we see if Doug takes the worst bad beat of his life, let me know, what is the worst bad beat you have ever taken? Let me know in the comment section down there. And while you're down there, make sure you click the like and subscribe button. Before we see if Doug gets bad beat here, I'll tell you what I think was my worst bad beat story. Whenever I was a young poker player, I was playing 30-60 limit hold'em a long time ago, before no limit hold'em online was even much of a thing. And I had a pair of kings. Very good hand in limit hold'em. We put in the maximum bets pre-flop. Heads up. The flop comes king, king, 3. We put in the maximum bets on the flop. The turn's an ace. We put in maximum bets on the turn. The river's an ace. I now lose to quad aces. I bet. He raises. I re-raise. He re-raises. And then I wisen up and just call. And he shows me 4 aces. Now, that's not actually the bad beat, because that happens. That's standard. If you think that's a bad beat where you make quads and lose to quads, like, you know, get over yourself. It's not a big deal. It's going to happen to you. The real bad beat is that a month later, Party Poker implemented a bad beat jackpot. And they seeded it with a ton of money, to the point that if I had played that hand a month later, I would have won $500,000 in the bad beat jackpot. Instead, I just lost a whole lot of bets. Let's see if Doug gets to feel the pain today.
2 of diamonds.
Yes.
That was
Doug
not
wins the first one, locks up $250,000.
Give him the sweaty jack. Give me the sweaty 2.
That would actually be fair.
Not likely, but fair.
There's a king. Doug holds for a $509,000 pot. And with that, Doug is now winning 6 figures in this game.
Doug feels no pain. Instead, he just scoops a giant pot. Some people have all the luck.